You need to go see Her Private Hell. I'm getting really close to the camera now. It's really good. It's good. Maybe not really good, but it's good. It's really good. Hello. I'm making this video. I don't even know if I'm gonna post it, but I'm making this video because very rarely do I get upset at like the general consensus of things. I'm usually very like, you know what, if you don't like something, whatever, or if you like something a lot, whatever, man, more power to you. But I think the dialogue around Nicholas Winding Refn's newest film, Her Private Hell, is insane. It's insane because there's none that feels constructive at all, at least from what I've seen. And I think a lot of people who would have very interesting ideas about the film or takeaways from it are being steered away from watching it because of the plethora of bad press the movie's gotten. And as well as the bad, like, I don't know, letterbox reviews, like the user reviews of like, or the viewer reviews of people who had seen it earlier, or whatever, who they're like, they're saying it's trash. And I want to sit here and I want to put my foot on the ground and get on a tiny little soapbox and say this movie is good. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but I don't think it's nearly as bad as a lot of people are saying. In fact, I think it has a lot of heart and a lot of interesting ideas. Maybe not all of them are executed to the best they can, but it is insane what people are saying about this movie, in my opinion, because it's not that bad at all. The way at least what I've been seeing, I really like this movie. I think it's great. I think it's a solid film. I think it's definitely worth a watch. And again, I think it has a lot of interesting ideas. I'm gonna get into some of these, but I'm just very saddened, I guess. I'm a big fan of Nicholas Winding Refn. He's probably one of my favorite filmmakers. I don't love everything he's made, but why is he one of my favorite filmmakers? It's because of his style and because, him as a director, him as a creator. It's just impressive. Like his dedication to his craft, his style, like him finding himself through, like seeing his film, like his progression of style throughout his films is awesome. And sure, Copenhagen Cowboy, not my favorite thing because of the ending, low key. And the fact that, whatever, that's a whole different video. But, and no, Too Old to Die Young, that was very slow and not the right ways. But, still a great looking mini series. Copenhagen Cowboy, again, great looking. Story was here. It was good at times. And then other times, not as good. And Neon Demon I didn't really like, and I thought I was very skeptical about this movie. I was excited because it was cool that he was returning to film after doing the two web series, after so long. And I will always have a place in my heart because he has made the greatest film trilogy of all time in the Pusher trilogy. Pusher 2 and 3 are straight masterpieces. Pusher 1's great. It's a good film. It's very, if you like Uncut Gems, you'll love Pusher. But 2 and 3 are genuinely perfect movies. 2 is like, they're both perfect in their own ways, and they both are very different, like stylistically and thematically, in the best ways possible. 2, a lot of people love 2 more than 3, but I think 3 is also really good, and I always struggle with which one's better. I think they're just both perfect. How can you compare perfection to perfection? You can't. Drive, of course, everyone loves Drive. Good film. He's got it where it counts. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Drive's great. Come on, it's great. Let's stop pretending that it's like just because a lot of people like it makes it bad. Because there's some movies that we could say, a lot of people like it and they're bad, but Drive is not one of them. Okay, it's a great film, and it's awesome. So that's what, like, I don't know. I went into Her Private Hell. I was kind of like, I was expecting it low key to be bad because of what everyone's saying. But I was like, you know what? I love Nicholas Winding Refn. I love Sophie Thatcher. I'm gonna go see this, and it was great. And I don't understand why people are hating on it. I feel like the best way for me to to just go about it, I guess I don't want to spoil it too much at all because again, I think people should really see it in the theaters. But I don't know. I might have to. So I'll if I'm about to spoil, I'll say whatever and you can click off. But I don't think I will. I'm gonna try not to. A lot of people are turned off, as from what I've seen. First of all, there a lot of critiques are like they feel it's like a horny movie that over sexualizes the main characters. You know, it's just too much sexualization. There's no story. It's just all like about horny people. And it's a cast of women that are just sexualized. And to that, I'm like, bro, did you watch the movie? Like, I want to just nip that critique in the bud right now. It's like, yes, there's some sexual stuff going on in the movie, but I don't think it's overtly sexualized. There's no nudity in the whole film. There, like something like Euphoria is way more over sexualized and more like, and honestly, ethically questionable in the fact that how overtly sexual it is, considering the first 2 seasons they're high schoolers or whatever. I didn't even. Whatever. That's the whole thing. But I'm just saying it's crazy that this is like, that's even a critique, because there's no nudity at all. There is one like sequence that's, I would say, graphic, and even it's low key pretty tame. Like, it's not that bad. And what does happen, that's like, I would say the crazy climactic part. Again, I'm not trying not to spoil. Is awesome. Like, it's like, how could you not see that and be like jaw on the floor, like, oh my god, I can't believe he did this in the film. Can't believe he directed this, he wrote this in. But it makes so much sense. Like, it fits thematically. I'm gonna get into this in a little bit. So I think it's ridiculous. That claim is bonkers. There's no nudity. There is literally like one sex scene. They talk about sex and they talk about fucking, but like, come on, you don't talk about that with your friends. Maybe not if you think that movie's over sexual, whatever. I think that critique is ridiculous. So if for some reason you were turned off from the movie because you you thought it was gonna be like too sexually corny, then you have nothing to worry about. But I guess if you were hoping it was gonna be super horny, like basically a porno, you're out of luck. I'm sorry. You're not gonna get that there. I'm sorry, unfortunately. So I want to get that out of the way, and then I think the bigger one, which is a more valid criticism, is in regards to the writing. And I think this is where my problems lie. But I think that people are very harsh on the writing. Because the film, again, if you have seen Nicholas Winding Refn's like newer stuff, I was talking Coleman Cowboy, Neon Demon, and Too Old to Die Young. It's similar. It is similar it's later Nicholas Winding Refn for sure. But I think the story in this is better than all those other 3 projects that I just mentioned. I think first of all, it's complete. So get Coleman Cowboy out of there, because that shit's not complete at all. And we're never going to get a second season for that. Probably not. But it's complete, and it doesn't waste its time. So get Too Old to Die Young there. And I think it's just a better story than Neon Demon. So I think it's like the more evolved version of what Neon Demon, like parts of the story of Neon Demon. I think this is like the evolved story. Like, I think Nicholas Winding Refn is tackling similar themes, but I think in a better way, because those are not like the main themes of the story. They're kind of there, and they're the same ideas. Again, I'm trying not to spoil too hard, but maybe I'll have a little segment. So I kind of see where some of the writing is, and I want to talk about like my biggest critiques of the movie. But at the same time, it is not a traditional film, like structure like a traditional film, really. It's not like a traditional indie film, and it's not like a Hollywood film. It's abstract in a way. And I like it. I hate using this word. I said this in my Letterboxd review. I hate using this word, but it is very Lynchian. Like, it is. If in the sense that it follows the dream logic, but it's also using the cinematic language to convey deeper emotional themes. Which is like, this is what I love about film, is when the visuals and like the techniques that are being implemented here are very much translating the inner themes and the inner emotions of the characters. It's very beautiful. It's like, it's abstract in a sense, but it is very dreamlike. I mean, the whole setting is basically hell. I mean, that's my interpretation. You can interpret it how you want, but there's like a mist that engulfs this town, and everyone's kind of stuck there, and it's very dreamlike. It's very abstract. The city is sure, there's lights in the city, but it feels empty, very, very isolated, and it's a unique feeling that's like comes from a combination of like the production design and the cinematography. Maybe the budget too, but let me, jokes aside, I say it's very Lynchian because I have not, like, this is the closest I've watched something that reminded me of The Return. Not, of course, The Return I think is way fucking better than this, and I think The Return What I'm trying to say is like, I don't think Refn is like consciously saying I'm going to make my version of The Return or anything like that. I think there's just a Venn diagram of like, if you're a fan of The Return of Mulholland Drive, there's going to be some overlap with this film. Because there's some similar ideas, and there's some similar like tonal direction to The Return, what's in here. And maybe I'm crazy. I could be crazy, but I feel like no one's talking about any of this. Anyways, but again, I kind of see why people might be turned away from the film if all you know from filmmaking is like a very, maybe not even a traditional sense, but like if you don't explore that side of filmmaking, like the dreamlike, the surreal, the abstract aspects of that, because the film is not inherently like in totality abstract, or it's kind of meshing like, you know, a traditional narrative, modern ideas. Like there's a iPhone in this, which again, I'm gonna get back into this later, but like these kind of ideas with the abstract, it's sort of like a fusion of that. And I could see why that might throw off some people. And it's a little campy. Like there's a little bit of like this pulp element to it. I mean, the main villain is called the Leatherman, and he has diamond gloves, and he fucking rips people's chests open. Is that not awesome? And that's like, and the idea is like, who is the Leatherman? That idea is a concept in the film that's explored. And is the Leatherman even real? Like, is this, or is it more like an inner self coming out kind of thing? Again, I'm trying not to spoil it too much, but like the idea of like that, it's again, he's a story being told. And it's playful in that. Like, again, I think it's poking fun at sort of, not in a very respectful way. Like I always mispronounce this. Giallo films, Giallo, the Italian horror movies. Like this, it's definitely nodding in some directions to that. I get like people, but again, I don't think it's that bad. Like people are saying it's garbage, and I've yet to see any like constructive dissertations on why that's bad. I feel like it's a lot of like it's different, and because it's different, it has to be bad. But I don't know, dude. Like, first of all, Nicholas Winding Refn as a filmmaker, like he's good. He's a good filmmaker. It's a solid film. I don't think it's the best movie in the world. I think there's a lot, like I think it has some half-baked ideas in there that could have, you know, used more time. I think the script needed another pass or something, like, but again, it's his movie. He does whatever he wants. If this is his true vision, so be it. And it's good. It's a good film. I had a great time. I'm going to list some overt positives because I want to talk more about the story and ideas there in a little, like soon-ish. But I'm doing my best not to spoil anything because I think you should go see this if you can. First of all, the score is amazing. The score is so good. I miss scores like that. It's very like fairy tale whimsical for the most part. There's some stuff that, you know, gets like more EDM, more, which is again awesome too. And I guess that leans into again like this fusion of tone, of themes, of ideas. But the score's so good. It's really good. I mean, just listen to it on your own. I'm sure it's out there. But I miss when scores were like this, like fairy tale. It feels like a fairy tale. The movie is a fairy tale, and the score matches that. So the score is great. The cinematography is incredible. I was very worried that, I guess not necessarily worried, but I was very prepared, I should say, that it was going to be like Copenhagen Cowboy, like Too Old to Die Young, where, you know, Refn loves to hold on a still frame and loves to do his slow pans. That, like, he loves that shit. And neon lights, of course, and there's a lot of neon in this, so that doesn't go away. But again, it's the slow pans, and I like that. I do like that when it's used good, or when it's like purposeful, or when it fits the tone of the story. I think it was used better in Copenhagen Cowboy than Too Old to Die Young, for the most part. But it does, like, I'm like, okay, it's gonna be like that, it's gonna throw people off. No, I think this cinematography is way more accessible than both Copenhagen Cowboy and, Too Old to Die Young. A bit, again, it leans like more like Neon Demon, so I wonder, like, but it's better than that. It's better. And maybe I haven't seen Neon Demon in a while, but I was very impressed by the cinematography in this film. And I wonder, I don't know, maybe it's the idea of like it being a film versus like made for television. There might be some context there with Refn's like ideas as a director. But regardless, yeah, the cinematography is amazing. It's so good. There's so many great shots. There's a lot of fluidity with the movement. It matches the themes, the tone, like a character's emotions is going to be represented clearly with the way that Refn's composing. There's some power dynamics at play within the compositions, and it's great. You know what I'm saying? So if you're looking, like, what I'm trying to say is, if you're looking for if you like movies that look good and sound good, you could totally see this movie, and the story is great. I think, again, I think I'm gonna have to get into some spoilers. Okay, I'm gonna say this. Just go see it. You should see it. If you were interested in it, I think you will like it. If you like Twin Peaks: The Return, I think you will like it. If you like Mulholland Drive, I think you would like it. I'm not saying it's as good as The Return or Mulholland Drive. It's not even close to as good as those, but it still has some good elements. Some themes from Mulholland Drive are present, and just some tonal direction similarities and some ideas again are from The Return. There's some crossover there. So I think, like, if you like any of his other movies, please go see it, because it's very different than what's like normally in theaters. And it's really good. It's good. It's pretty good. I liked it. But I'm going to talk a little bit more spoilers, I guess. Maybe not as much, but if you like, I'm going to not spoil anything major, but this is going to be more like character stuff and a mix of critique and praise, I guess. So you've been warned, I guess. First off, there's two storylines that kind of are followed through this film, but the main one is Sophie Thatcher's character, Elle. She is the main character. But there's a side storyline with this military man, K, and his story is perfect in this film. His storyline is the most fleshed out and developed, and it's also the shortest. Side tangent. Well, let me give some context, actually, before my side tangent. But I'm going to focus on K's storyline. It interweaves with Sophie Thatcher's character in a very interesting way, not overtly explained why, and I think that's great because it lets the audience kind of understand, well, why were their storylines connected? It's food for thought. It's very purposeful, though. So K is he is Asian American. Oh my gosh, hold on, my camera's gonna die. I'm back. Sorry, where was I? Because he's a U.S. soldier. And there is tension between him and these other Japanese people that are kind of in his section of the city or whatever. Like, again, it's very abstract. Like, it's a small section, which is it seems separate in completely in terms of visual style from Sophie Thatcher's section, what she's used to. And he's sort of this like street vigilante. He's looking for his daughter, right? Connected to Leatherman. Leatherman killed his daughter, took his daughter. And he's source searching. There's some corruption with the police. There's some gang activity. But his storyline is really cool. And the action, oh my God. His has the best fight scenes. The fight scenes are fire. There are some, I didn't even expect there to be fight scenes, but they're really good. They're really good. Not enough, but they're fire. The gore is good in this film. But it's not like overtly gory, but there's a lot of funny bits in the action. The action is amazing. I wish there was more, but regardless, it was great. K's section is perfect. And there's a cameo from the GOAT, who plays Kafuku in Drive My Car. I'm probably mispronouncing. I forget the actor's name. I'm sorry, but when I saw that, I was like, oh my God, that's him. And I was like, no way, that's awesome. So maybe I'm a little biased because because that's in there. But still. Anyways, his storyline is great. And he's so hot. He's very good looking man. So great, right? Love that storyline. I think that's like the highest aspect of this film is from start to finish. And when his storyline connects with Sophie Thatcher in the third act. So I'm trying not to spoil it, but there is some ambiguity in like why they connect, and I think that is great food for thought in terms of that and like what the Leatherman is and what that represents. Again, there's like these. It's like a lot of abstract ideas that are put into this like the visualization of the film, like the literal like the film aspect, the filmmaking aspect is conveying the narrative and the theme, and like it's, I love it. I love it when there's like visual symbolism, visual metaphors. So going back to Sophie Thatcher's storyline, this is I think Sophie Thatcher as an actress is great in this. Her character is very stifled in the beginning, and it leads you to sort of believe, you're kind of questioning why, right? You're like, why is she being so reserved? What's going on? She makes some interesting character decisions until you understand the deeper themes and like what's going on. As the story plays out, you're sort of piecing together who her character is, really like inside what's going on with her emotions, and you understand why she's so reserved. And then Sophie Thatcher has an amazing flip switch at a certain moment, and it's full steam ahead, and she's wonderful. I mean, she's wonderful the whole time, but like, it really gets a chance to shine, show that acting chops with that switch, with that kind of range within the film, and it makes sense thematically. It is a spoiler. It is a spoiler. That's why, like, I'm really trying. I don't want to say it because I feel like, but fuck it. Who cares? Who's even gonna watch this? Sophie Thatcher's character is. This is spoiler warning. Big spoiler warning. Okay. Sophie Thatcher's character is like low key gay for her stepmom, for her dad's new wife, who is like her age. And like they've met before. It's like, it's kind of told as the film goes. You kind of realize that they met before, and maybe they had. It goes unsaid, but maybe they had some history. It's either they had some history or Sophie Thatcher was always in her, but the feeling is not mutual. Maybe it was at one point, but now it's not anymore. I do believe they had some history because of specific dialogue phrasing. But again, it's kind of ambiguous. It's left up to your sort of true interpretation. But once you understand that, like, the film really clicks. Like when you see, oh my God, like there's some repressed lesbian stuff going on here. It's so good. And then it kind of blends into like what Leatherman represents. Like where does Kay's storyline come into? Who is Kay's daughter that went missing? Sophie Thatcher's relationship to her father. There's a lot of interesting ideas here that come out from like the storyline. Where I think the film suffers is the writing is just not optimized to bring these ideas to their fullest fruition. There's not enough time spent on certain things. There's too much time spent on things that maybe detract a little bit. I want to be like, specifically, there's this character Hunter. Hunter is sort of like maybe like an idealized version of what the dad wishes Sophie Thatcher's character would be. Maybe it's not very clear, but she sort of arrives. She's supposed to be starring in this movie. She's another actress. That Sophie Thatcher's character, her dad is like makes movies, whatever. He's like he's a filmmaker. They're making this like sci-fi reboot thing, and Sophie Thatcher's in it. And this character Hunter's in it. But Hunter's pretty much a useless character in my opinion. I think Hunter should have been removed. I think that's why the film suffers, honestly, the most, is because too much time is spent with Hunter, who sort of just detracts so much from the film. She's kind of like the audience entering this world, right? Like this specific world, where, but she's very excited to be in this world, as like an actress coming in, whatever. But she doesn't really do much. And it's kind of pointless. She has, like, I don't want to spoil what happens. Like there's one scene that's fire with her. Everything else is kind of and I feel like that's the weakest part of the film is her character. The actress does a great job. I'm not trying to dig on her, but I think the character writing is the weakest. And I think it was unnecessary, to be honest. I think just focusing on Dominique, which is the stepmom, Sophie Thatcher's character Elle, and K, Private K, or Agent K, whatever. I think that those three, it would have made the film even stronger, truly. But yeah, so Hunter is kind of like whatever, and I think it really does weaken the plot a bit. There's some dialogue. Again, some dialogue is great. There's some great lines, but there's also some like lines. And I think my theory is that Refn, for whatever reason, maybe was going about. This kind of ties into my Megalopolis ideas, which is when you make a film in an attempt for it to be a universal film, something that people 30 years from now watch and be able to completely understand within the context as now, and also a Republican, a Democrat, third world country resident, someone from Iran, someone from wherever, you know what I mean? All these different places, all these different people, however old, however young, could watch this film and all have the same takeaway. That is an impossible task. And when you shoot for that, you detract away. And I think in Megalopolis, that was the big reason that movie is what it is because Francis Ford Coppola is trying to tell a fable in the form of a film. He's trying to make a Humpty Dumpty. but in the movie or the film, if that makes sense. I don't think Refn's doing exactly that, but I think there are some there's some areas where this film dips into that kind of territory. Specifically, the phone. There's like one scene with the phone that comes with some corny dialogue, and it's just like you could just get rid of that, and it doesn't take away from the story, right? I'm trying to think of another one. It's mostly just like in dialogue and also certain reactions to like character moments. I think because Refn is a little playful, a little cheeky with it, you know, how some characters react to like Sophie Thatcher's character does something and then there's like a slight reaction that's a little comical, right? It's like how we would react to that, right? But it's like, it feels a little bit like you're not embracing the film and not embracing that, like the character Elle's like genuine emotions in that scene, you know, playing it off for a little laugh, just a little bit. And it kind of detracts. Again, it kind of detracts a bit. So that's where the film is weak. I saw a critique on specifically the scene where they're barking. Like there's a scene where like Sophie Thatcher's stepmom and Hunter are trying to convince Elle to go out with them, and Dominique starts barking, and people are like that was someone's like, oh, I'm gonna have another segment where I'm just gonna read Letterboxd reviews on this because it was infuriating a little bit. But like that was like all someone cared about was that was in the movie, and that made it bad. Like they had no other ideas about that movie, about like the movie besides just that scene. That scene it's so small. It's a small scene. There's crazier stuff that happens in it. Literally, spoiler warning. You can skip ahead if you don't want to spoil this. Dude, Case fucking stabs some dude in the eye twice. Like his eye gets cooked, and then later on they fight again. And he stabs his other eye. It's awesome. Like knife through the hand it's fire. Come on. But you're going to focus on the dog barking scene. That scene makes sense, though, because it, maybe that's not the best way to do it, but Refn is trying to convey this sense of familiarity, like there's this, like, inside language between them two, stemming from the past, which rolls over into the unrequited love, you know what I'm saying, that Sophie Thatcher is feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sophie Thatcher, like, I don't want to, again, I don't want to get too much into spoilers, but what I'm trying to say is, like, there's a lot of ideas here that I think make for a fruitful discussion, and I feel like it does not deserve the bad mouthing that it's gone. This movie is not garbage. It is not trash. It is a solid piece of filmmaking from one of the great directors of our time, filled with heart, but really dreamlike and filled with some great shots, some great music. You know, the story has some bits that could be improved on for sure, but I do think it's worth a watch. You know, like, it's a good watch. I don't think you would regret it if you are a fan of him or you're a fan of, like I said, The Return, Mulholland Drive. If you like things that are a little abstract, if you like to like watch stuff and you know that's a little bit ambiguous, that has clues layered in, this is that type of film. Sure, it's not clear cut, that's for sure, but I think it excels at what it is, and it's a very cool vision. It's a great. Like the world building is so interesting. Like, dude, the opening shot is like a building that's shaped like some dude's head. Like, it's fine. That's awesome. And it's very well made. You know what I mean? Like, it would be different. It would be a different story if this was not well made, but it is well made. You can tell that everything is intentional. And I think you have to go into that with some genuine, you got to be a little bit more respectful. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I can't believe people like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. My theory is that someone just needs to make a 5-hour video essay on like what all the symbolism means in the film. Like, who is the leather man? What is the relationship between Kay's daughter and Elle, and maybe Dominique, and the film that they were shooting, Johnny Thunder, what is his deal? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think once someone makes like a 5-hour film, like maybe a 2-hour video essay on the movie, like, are they in hell? They're in hell the whole time. I think they're in hell the whole time, or at least a version of it. Her Private Hell, but just go see it. It's if you're a fan of Nicholas Winding Refn, go see it. If you're a fan of anything I was talking about, go see it. It's a good time. I think it's worth a watch. And I'm not just saying this as a Nicholas Winding Refn glazer. Like, if this was trash, I would be hanging on it. I don't think it's like some masterpiece. You know, I think it's really good though. I think it's good. It probably is on my top 20 of the year so far. I don't know if that's crazy or not. I liked it more than The Odyssey, if that's something. I mean, The Odyssey was a great time in the theater, but as a film, I think Her Private Hell has more to offer. Is that a hot take? Here's the hot take. I think Her Private Hell has more to offer than The Odyssey. And I like The Odyssey. I think The Odyssey was fine. I don't like the editing of the Odyssey at all. But as a good time, as a good epic adventure, it's no Lawrence of Arabia, but the Odyssey was pretty good. Sophie Thatcher's out acting Matt Damon. Is that a hot take? Kay is out acting Matt Damon. The actor who plays Kafuku is out acting Matt Damon. But that would be a whole separate video. It's like me talking about the Odyssey. I have mixed feelings. I think I'm not like, I don't love it as much as a lot of people do. I definitely don't hate it as much as a lot of people do. I'm like in the middle, squarely. But I do like Her Private Hell. I think as a movie, it's a little bit better than the Odyssey. I don't think it's as the Odyssey is a great theater experience though. I will say, like, if you like, that's a whole other tangent. Anyways, go watch it. Please go watch it. And yeah, did you see it? What do you think? If you watched it, you should go watch it. Good movie. I've been talking for way too long now. Thank you.